Greetings and salutations, my children of the night. Thank you for joining me on such short notice. Tonight I'm joined by yet another friend. Everyone give a warm welcome to my good pal, Protorage X. You are now unmuted so people can hear you.
Oh, it's about time. Seriously, you need to wash that thing sometimes. I swear to whatever beings that exist, wash that handkerchief.
But if I wash the handkerchief, how am I going to get the chloroform to stay on it? By the way, new vtubing program, so now I've got proper camera tracking and mouth tracking. We're both using it, so we look much better than we did before. Or at least I did before. I have not seen Protorage stream with his avatar, so I'm glad to have him here so I can see it in action. He's done an excellent job.
Thank you. I hope to make some improvements on this a bit more as I keep learning.
But yes, tonight we are watching the classic Night of the Living Dead. But before we do that, I have something that I would like to show off. This is going to be a recurring segment at the beginning of streams when I have something to show. An art share for Arikado fan art and related artwork. This is the first piece of Maximillian Arikado fan art, which you can submit on Twitter with the hashtag Artikado. This was created by Angelic Shiba Art.
Is it even safe to show?
There we go. It is a picture of me waking up in the morning and drinking my coffee while half asleep. This, it's very accurate to how I am in the morning. Although, I actually drink out of a, much larger mug than that, because I need as much coffee or espresso as I can get. But for the first piece of Arikado fan art, I love it. I didn't even ask her to make this. She made it while watching the debut stream. And I very much appreciate her for it. Everyone, go give her a follow on Twitter at Angelic Shiba Art. She is a wonderful person that I've had the pleasure of getting to know this year.
I have to say, it looks really good. It looks just like you.
Yes, it does. She has done a fantastic job, especially since I had not yet sent her reference images for me. She had not seen the model yet, so she was doing this live while the stream was going on.
Not bad, not bad. Way to go.
Now, without further ado, let us put a stop to the music. And get back over to where we will be watching Night of the Living Dead, the colorized version, as was Protorage's choice.
Well, I just have something I want to start before that, you know.
Go ahead.
We did just got through the feast-giving days, and let's face it, we're gonna have some fun with some heathenry here. Because it's traditionally Black Friday here in the States, and it's a day I hate. So, we're gonna have a little fun and a little warm-up of Thanksgiving commercial from, what was it, 1956. A good year for some of the really odd ones. Let's... There we go. And...
Hello, I'm Ed Prentice. You know, even more than your guests, your family deserves real butter. Right now we're having some family fun, butter baking a turkey.
Mommy, why do we put butter all over the turkey?
To keep him from drying out.
Then put butter on the drumstick, too.
Lots of butter makes him golden brown.
Gosh, I'll bet it's going to be good.
Now, really, son, dear. Now we dip this cheesecloth in melted butter and wrap him up.
To keep him warm?
No, so it'll be juicy and tender.
Now he's ready.
Let's face it, Thanksgiving's the only time of the year where you can legally fist a turkey without getting arrested.
Pretty soon.
No, Daddy. Bake them slowly so it'll stay
That's a good
plump,
point.
juicy, and tender. Oh,
Now I've got something to look forward to next Thanksgiving.
Take a peek and baste him with butter, of course.
it looks so big.
And he'll stay big.
Just remember, butter helps the fist go in.
That's right. This Special American Dairy Association method keeps your turkey from shrinking in the oven. A turkey can lose as much as 1/3 of its weight if it isn't properly roasted.
This sure is a big drumstick, Daddy.
You know,
Because shrinkage is a problem here in the States.
It's terrific.
Especially during the colder months.
It's butter baked.
why don't you get your family together and have fun butter baking a turkey? Remember, even more than your guests, your family deserves real butter.
'50s commercials were weird.
They were.
Like, it's not a commercial for a specific brand of butter, just the concept of butter.
I mean, there's nothing more American than, especially Southern, slathering everything in butter to the point of it's questionably lewd.
Oh, definitely. And if it's questionably edible, without giving you a heart attack from your cholesterol intake.
I'm pretty sure this commercial's old enough that it was probably written by Paula Deen herself.
I'm pretty sure this commercial's old enough that they were probably still smoking cigarettes in the doctor's offices where the people that ate that butter-infused turkey had to go to afterwards.
Butter and cigarettes.
Butter, cigarettes, and cocaine-infused sodas.
Those were the times. Simpler times. But
Back in the days where you could get heroin to treat your cough.
just, you got a cold? You won't feel it anymore. But welcome to your new addiction. Yeah. But I think kind of going to the Night of the Living Dead kind of fits for today's theme.
I mean, after all, it is a day of feast, or a day after a day of feast, so what better than feasting on the flesh of the living?
And also, crowns of mindless, shambling fools.
If only Dawn of the Dead was public domain, then we could really stick it to Black Friday, because that takes place entirely within a shopping mall.
Oh, speaking of, I don't know if you guys saw this. This is just completely off the cuff here. There's a new Bruce Campbell movie called Black Friday.
Bruce Campbell is a national treasure.
He is. And what's funny is when you look at it through all the Evil Dead series and all that, including Ash vs. Evil Dead, he's been nothing more than a stockroom associate. And this one, he's actually the store manager.
I haven't seen any of the Evil Dead movies, but I have seen the stage musical.
Oh, man.
I sat in the
Totally
front
recommend
row
it.
and got sprayed with fake blood, but they forgot to add the food coloring to it, so I just got sprayed with water.
Sir, there seems to be a problem with this blood. It's lacking iron.
I mean, as someone who's half vampire, I'm a connoisseur of blood. And blood is typically supposed to be some shade of red, not completely see-through. So all I had was a wet shirt.
I mean,
Although I did get a poster autographed by the cast. I still have it on display in my bedroom.
in some cases, leaving a show with a wet t-shirt is still a good time.
It depends on how great your tits are.
This is why I indulge in alcohol. Ah. Alright. You ready?
I'm ready when you are. Let us know
Alright.
how our audio balance is going. I've got the browser turned down pretty low.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely want to know that. Like, especially with our commercial, I brought it down a little. So I'm gonna ask you in chat here. How's our audio? One. And two, are you guys ready for this? I wanna see.
This is not going to be a bad movie night, unfortunately, because Night of the Living Dead is a certified classic. In the good way, not in the Plan 9 from Outer Space way.
Or in, The Room.
We couldn't get away with showing The Room on Twitch. It's softcore porn.
Well, not only
Although I
that,
have been present to a live stream where Greg Sestero was in the chat. He played Mark in The Room.
oh hi Mark.
Yes,
Damn
he
it.
was. He chimed in, "Oh hi, Mark," every time that Mark appeared, and also dropped in a few bits of trivia about what the shooting process was like that all the moans were dubbed in post.
It just that movie. I don't know how I managed to survive that movie.
Survived it. I cosplayed Tommy Wiseau to a screening.
Chat. Alright, so chat says they are ready.
All right, then let's get started.
Just remember, they're coming to get you, Barbara.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
It started a little ahead, sorry.
It's fine. Fun fact, this movie was actually not originally titled Night of the Living Dead when it was in production. That was given to it by its distributors. The original intended title for this masterpiece was Night of the Flesh Eaters.
I mean, I imagine they call it the Night of the Living Dead because, well, let's face it, some of the lines were dead delivered.
Why was it a staple of 50s and 60s horror movies to start out on long shots of a car driving through vast nothing?
Because it eventually led to the inspiration.
It's easier than coming up with a title sequence, but...
Well, it eventually led to the inspiration of Hotel California.
Such a lovely place. Welcome, one and all, to scenic Bumblefuck, New Jersey.
Well, I've been there. They got that wonderful thing on the corner store.
Gee, I wonder what country this takes place in.
Okay, speaking of someone who's worked in a cemetery, how are there so many turning roads in this
They ought to
cemetery?
make the day the time changes, the first day of summer.
What?
Well, it's 8 o'clock and it's still light.
A lot of good the extra daylight does us. Now, we've still got a 3-hour drive back. We're not going to be home until after midnight.
Well, if it really bugged you, Johnny, you wouldn't do it.
You think I want to blow Sunday on a scene like this? You know, I figure we're either going to have to move Mother out here or move the grave into Pittsburgh.
She can't make a trip like this.
Oh, I don't know that she can't. Is there any of that candy?
Yeah, I mean, she'd fall to pieces on the trip.
No.
Look at this thing. We still remember. I don't.
Plus, the
You know,
smell
I
would
don't
be
even remember what the man
unbearable.
looks like.
Johnny, it takes you
I mean,
5
for Reese, they only do
Yeah,
so much.
5 minutes to put the wreath on the grave and 6 hours to drive back and forth.
You say
Mother
this
wants to
like
remember,
this
so
movie
we
had the
trot
budget
200 miles into the country and
Febreze.
she
They
stays at
probably
home.
just had
Well,
one
we're
of
here,
those
John, all right?
tree-shaped car air fresheners.
I mean, it was either pine or wintergreen.
Ladies and
Hey,
gentlemen, we're coming back on the air after an interruption due to technical problems.
There's nothing wrong with the radio. Must have been the station.
Which row is it in?
How do you not know where your mother's grave is by this point?
I mean, it's not like Disneyland where you're looking for Goofy B36.
Well, there's no one around.
Well, it's late. If you'd gotten up earlier.
Oh, look, I already
You say
lost an
this
hour's
like
sleep
you
with the
expect a
sun.
graveyard to be
Haven't you complained
crowded.
To hear yourself talk.
I
There it is.
mean, in a way it is.
You know I have counterpoints to that, but I know you have counterpoints to my counterpoints.
I wonder what happened to the one from last year. Each year we spend good money on these things. We come out here and the one from last year's gone.
Well, the flowers die, and the caretaker or somebody takes them away.
Yeah, a little spit and polish.
They have to
clean it
cut
up,
the grass.
Sell it next year. Wonder how many times we bought the same one.
For a movie shot on a shoestring budget, I've seen less convincing cemeteries.
I mean, sure, let's go to
Hey, come on,
a cemetery viewing our grandmother with a polka dot tie. Oh, the meth heads are out.
Hey, I mean, praying's for church, huh? Come on.
I haven't seen you in church lately.
Hurry
Well,
up, or else I'm going to have
much
to
sense
put
in
on
my
the
going to
pimp
church.
gloves.
Do you remember one time when we were small, we were out here? It was from right over there. I jumped out at you from behind the tree, and Grandpa got all excited, and he shook his fist at me, and he said, "Boy, you be damned to hell." Remember that?
Probably
Right over
thereafter he died of a heart attack.
Well, you used to
Fun
really be
fact, they're at
scared
a
here.
cemetery at a Christian church when the characters are canonically
You're still
Jewish.
afraid.
Stop it now, I mean it.
Oh, that's a detail I overlooked.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Stop it. You're ignorant.
They're coming for you, Barbara.
Stop it. You're acting like a child.
They're coming for you. Look, there comes one of them now.
He'll hear you.
Here he comes now. I'm getting out of here.
Johnny.
Hey, you got any of that meth? Street crank? Now?
Sweet home Tampa, Florida, where the bath salts come to you.
My brand of glasses!
I mean, you gotta give him credit, he's impeccably well dressed for someone who's dead. Death isn't going to stop him from looking fly as fuck.
In a weird way, he almost looks like the 11th Doctor.
I can see it, oh my god. And people think that 28 Days Later invented running zombies.
First red flag of the movie. I knew it wouldn't take long.
Just give him a minute. Eventually, he'll figure it out. There we go. He's progressing to using tools.
The zombies have entered the Stone Age. What would happen if a living person bit a zombie? Food poisoning?
What happens if a zombie bites a vampire? Another fun fact for you, the reason that the car crashes there is because they actually wrecked the car on offset and needed an excuse for why it now had a dent in it.
Yeah,
I did a lot of reading on Night of the Living Dead's production to prepare for this. Just give up. She's not into you.
Oh yes, the Michael Myers shamble. No matter the fact that she's running much faster, he eventually catches up.
Quick, Jill, into that house!
He's slowly shambling towards me, menacingly.
He'll catch me in at least 30 minutes at this rate.
Oh, you've done some wonderful decorating in here. Real Martha Stewart. Hello? Hello?
Oh my god, this is hideous decor! So tacky.
Don't you know the tech story was so last year? Oh, I thought it was getting ready to learn Kung Fu. Damn.
Speaking of Kung Fu and zombies, you need to see Brain Dead, also known as Dead Alive in its American release.
Okay, in all seriousness, you've dialed one number, Barbara.
Well, back in the day, you could dial 0 to get the operator.
I imagine in this situation, you don't want the operator, you want 911. My friends, they come.
Wait a minute. A horde of soulless, lifeless, shambling people in well-dressed suits? They're not zombies, they're Jehovah's Witnesses!
It's the movie poster for Evil Dead.
It's all right. Don't worry about him. I can handle him. Probably be a lot more of them as soon as they find out about us. The truck is out of gas. This pump out here is locked. Is there a key? We can try to get out of here if we can get some gas. Is there a key? I suppose you've tried this.
We're trying to reach you regarding your car's extended warranty.
This is Bank of America's Chinese division calling
live
you
here?
about a debt that you have to pay.
Grandma, are you upstairs?
Jesus. We've got to get out of here. We have to get to where there's some other people. Maybe we better take some food. I'll see if I can find some food.
If you live in the South, then you know that exactly what you need for this kind of situation is to stockpile on bread and milk.
As much as I hate to admit it, this is actually a true thing.
Damn it, the radio's been jammed! Raspberry jam, to be specific.
What's happening?
How do you think it's happening?
What's happening?
Okay, that's just rude.
Two of them.
Break it!
No. Wait a minute. They broke his front light, so he'll inevitably get pulled over by a traffic cop, so then he'll be held up long enough for them to catch up to him. It's genius!
They're getting too intelligent.
Yes, straddle the zombie when you're surrounded.
You hit Fred!
What are you doing? I just want to tell you about Dianetics!
Can't believe. Oh. With all them, I'm just waiting for a musical number to break out.
I know we're in here now. Don't look at it.
Help me dispose of the body before the fuzz gets here.
Where's the disposal?
Help me find a wood chipper.
You want your friend? Here you go. Who wants a barbecue?
He said he liked his roast well done. But I think this is overdoing it a bit.
You forgot to flip the beat. Now it's gonna be all uneven.
He didn't even butter that turkey.
You've got to butter it well before you roast it.
Get some more lights on in this house.
Did the 1956 commercial teach him nothing? We prepared for this.
I mean, they had 12 years to prepare the butter. All right, it's hammer time.
If there's one thing that playing Resident Evil has taught me, it's that you never want to be stuck with just a knife during a zombie apocalypse.
Why don't you see if you can find some wood, some board, something there by the fireplace, something we can nail this place up.
I thought he was about to say, screw this.
God damn.
Barbara, go make yourself useful.
I know you're afraid. I'm afraid too. But we have to try to board the house up together. Now, I'm going to board up the windows and the doors. Do you understand? We'll be all right here. We'll be all right here until someone comes to rescue us. But we'll have to work together. You'll have to help me. Now, I want you to go in and get some wood so I can board the place up. Do you understand? Okay? Okay?
Good thing they didn't pay her by the line.
I mean, so far, the only person who's beating her as far as, you know, horror movie actors with the least amount of lines is Nicolas Cage. Willy's Wonderland. Recommend you watch it.
Yes, another in the entry of Five Nights at Freddy's movies that are somehow out before the Five Nights at Freddy's movie came out.
Oh no, not an ominous music box. Hey, I found the door to board up the door.
Now that's just adorable.
mean, he obviously hasn't watched Bob Vila's home remodeling.
Shit, they need to board up the chimney or else zombie Santa Claus is going to come down.
We have a whole other month until Zombie Santa.
You forget that Christmas has had an illegal occupation of November for a long time.
True.
That's why we're still at war.
Excited for the new Resident Evil movie. From what I've seen of it, it's supposed to be really good. I thought it's supposed to be a series, not just a movie.
They're doing two things. They did a series that's already on Netflix, and they are also doing a live-action movie that's unrelated to the series.
Like, I saw the Netflix series. I thought they were doing a Netflix live action that tied into the movie.
It's confusing because they announced both around the same time, but they're completely unrelated to each other.
Yeah, this room looks pretty secure.
I mean, I have my worries about it because it's adapting Resident Evil 1 and 2 at the same time.
Well, I mean,
Which will definitely make for a rushed adaptation, but it can't possibly be worse than, you know, the old live-action movies.
Yeah, I mean, the
no
first
one
one
should be able to fist-fight Nemesis and live.
It's... You don't punch Nemesis. Nemesis fists you and turns you into a Muppet.
Down the road called Beekman's Diner. Anyhow, that's where I found that truck I have out there.
Yeah, it took me a minute to think. I was like, wait, it's Resident Evil 2 and 3 to take place around the same time.
Yes, not Resident Evil 1 and 2. They're 2 years They're not two. They were released 2 years apart, but they take place a significant amount of time apart from each other because after the mansion incident, STARS gets more or less disbanded.
Yep, that's true.
And Chris leaves for Europe, which is what brings Claire to come look for him in Raccoon City because she didn't know that he wasn't in Raccoon City.
Truck went right across the road.
It was too busy drinking Mai Tais.
It went right through the guardrail. I guess the driver must have...
Yeah, man, that was an antique table, too.
Into that gas station by Beekman's Diner.
You guys are going to go see it. Nice.
Is Beekman's Diner a part of Beekman's World?
Yeah. Just, you know, you remember the rat from Beekman's World? He also works double time as the chef.
I only ever saw one episode of Beekman's World while I was channel surfing in high school on some local channel. The most I got of it is, this is what is, it's too weird to have been a success like Bill Nye was.
I mean, it was an alright success. It just wasn't as...
If there was anyone there who could help me.
Big of a following. But yeah, the rat worked double time as the diner cook.
The place had been encircled. Wasn't a sign of life left, except...
Disney ripped off Ratatouille's idea from that,
I
then.
know there were no more screams.
I think they just ended up in a diner in New York.
I was alone with 50 or 60 of those things, just standing there, staring at me.
I would cut to a flashback of this, but we didn't have the budget for 50 or 60 extras.
Just plowed right through them. They didn't move, they didn't run, or just stood there staring at me. Just wanted to crush them.
Spoiler alert, it wasn't zombies you ran over.
Scattered.
It was people leaving Woodstock.
It was the 1960s.
Johnny and me. Johnny. We came to put a wreath on my father's grave. Johnny, and he said, "Can I have some candy, Barbara?" We didn't have any. And, oh, it's hot in here. Hot.
This moment brought to you by Snickers.
And he said, "Oh, it's late. Why did we start so late?"
You
And
know,
I said,
considering this was the late
"Johnny,
60s, if this was
if you'd
any
gotten
other
up earlier,
directing crew,
we wouldn't be
they
late."
would have had her expose at least a
Johnny
little bit
asked
of
me
cleavage
if I were
there.
afraid. And I said, "I'm not
But no,
afraid,
George
Johnny."
Romero is a classy man.
And then this man started walking up the road. He came slowly, and Johnny kept teasing me and saying, "He's coming to get you, Barbara." And I laughed at him and said, "Johnny, stop it." And then
He did try to
Johnny
get
ran
you.
away. And I went up to this man, and I was going to apologize.
Why don't you just keep calm?
And I looked up, and I said, "Goody." And he grabbed me. He grabbed me, and he ripped at
And
me.
said I smelled pretty.
He held me, and he ripped at my clothes.
I think you should just calm down.
Oh, I screamed, "Johnny! Johnny, help me! Oh, help me!" And he wouldn't let me go. He ripped. And then Johnny came, and he ran, and he fought this man. And I got so afraid. I ran.
I ran so far away. I just ran. I ran all night and day. I couldn't get away.
Couldn't get away.
Maybe we better go out and get him. We have to go out and get Johnny. He's out there. Please, don't you hear me? We've got to go out and get him. Please! We have got to go get Johnny! Please help me! Please!
Last we saw of Johnny, he got stoned.
You know what's going on out there. This is no Sunday school picnic.
Don't you understand? My brother is alone!
Your brother is dead.
No! My brother is not dead! Oh. Oh.
Okay, if you can faint now, there we go.
And if I remember correctly, she spends the rest of the movie like this.
I think they got tired of her over-the-top acting.
You're listening to KTIT, KTIT, bringing you the best music in town.
This radio station will remain on the air day and night. This station and hundreds of other radio and TV stations throughout this part of the country are pooling their resources through an emergency network hookup to keep you informed of all developments. At this hour, we repeat, these are the facts as we know them. There is an epidemic of mass murder being committed by a virtual army of unidentified assassins. The murders are taking place in villages, cities, rural homes, and suburbs with no apparent pattern or reason for the slayings. It seems to be a sudden, general explosion of mass homicide. We have some descriptions of the assassins. Eyewitnesses say they are ordinary-looking people. Some say they appear to be in a kind of trance. Others describe them as being...
One woman reported that her cat was eaten by a man with one arm.
At this point, there is no really authentic way for us to say who or what to look for and guard yourself against. Misshapen monsters. Reaction of law enforcement officials is one of complete bewilderment at this hour. So far, we have been unable to determine that any kind of organized investigation is yet underway. Police, sheriff's deputies, and emergency ambulances are literally deluged with calls for help. The scene can best be described as mayhem. Mayors of Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, and Miami, along with the governors of several eastern and midwestern states, have indicated the National Guard may be mobilized at any moment, but that has not happened as yet. The only advice our reporters have been able to get from official sources is for private citizens to stay in their homes behind locked doors. Do not venture outside for any reason until the nature of this crisis has been determined and until we can advise what course of action to take. Keep listening to radio and TV for any special instructions as this crisis develops further. Thousands of office and
You know, with the benefit of having grown up in a society where zombie movies are commonplace, it's very odd to go back to the progenitor of the zombie apocalypse genre and hear zombie apocalypse described as mass murders committed by unknown assassins. Because you have to keep in mind, at this time, zombie movies only existed where the zombies were the traditional voodoo type, where they were servants of a necromancer.
Necromancer or some sort of being that brought them back.
Yes, this was the first time that they tried to portray zombies as working independently of someone bossing them around.
I mean, let's put it this way. If the zombies unionize, they would probably be unstoppable.
I guess for once, I'm happy that I live in a right-to-work state.
Also from National Press Services in Washington, D.C., now tells us that the emergency presidential conference, which we've just mentioned, will include high-ranking scientists from the National...
Wait, so you mean to tell me the undead is anti-union?
It's not that they're anti-union, it's that their corporate overlords hire union-busting firms to fill them full of propaganda about how unionizing will only lead to bad things.
An emergency network to bring you this news as it develops. We urge you to stay tuned to radio and TV and to stay indoors.
What I'm trying to say is that the zombies should seize the means of corpse production.
Frightened people seeking refuge in churches, schools, and government buildings, demanding shelter and protection from the wholesale murder which apparently
Daphne is waking up.
Cheekies.
Sir, you are hammering a door with no wood on it.
Camden, North Carolina, was quoted as saying, quote, "Tell the people for God's sake to get off the streets. Tell them to go home and lock their doors and windows up tight. We don't know what kind of murder-happy characters we have here." End quote. Police Chief Dunmore of Camden, North Carolina. So far, the only
For when you need to look cool during the zombie apocalypse.
I guess this movie does have something in common with early episodes of The Flintstones, sponsored by Winston Cigarettes. Winston tastes good like a cigarette should.
That song sounds like cancer. I'm sorry.
That they actually used to air Flintstones cigarette ads during early broadcasts of the Flintstones because they were sponsored by a cigarette company. And that was the jingle that Fred Flintstone would sing after talking about how good Winston cigarettes are.
How times have changed. And of course, one thing that always stays true. Keeping ammo in a shoebox.
Similar killings have been reported around the Houston and Galveston areas, but nothing like...
I found a gun and some bullets out there.
It was only late yesterday.
Oh, and these.
They took Fred, Velma, Shaggy, and Scooby.
When first reports began filtering in,
they took them all.
Enforcement agencies were of the opinion
this place is boarded up pretty solid now.
In nature. However, as these
we ought to be all right here for a while.
dramatically, it was soon apparent that
We have
this
a
was
gun
something
and
more than the
bullets,
usual run of lawlessness.
food, and
The most
radio.
important thing during a zombie apocalypse is to keep your feet
Sooner or later,
nice and
someone
comfortable.
bound to come and get us out.
Creatures from outer space. So again, we join with
And also, don't run in heels.
urging you to seek shelter in a building. Lock the doors and windows securely.
Hey, that's us. We're doing all right.
Be cautious of any suspicious strangers, and keep tuned to your radio and television for survival instructions and further details of this continuing story.
Look, I don't know if you're hearing me,
Goes on in the absence of any law.
but I'm going upstairs now.
It's almost as though some critical balance of
If anything should try to break in here, I can hear it from up there. I'll be down to take care of it.
savage killers. We repeat, this radio station.
Everything is all right for now. I'll be back to reinforce the windows and doors later. But you'll be all right for now, okay? Okay.
Civil defense officials in Cumberland have told newsmen that murder victims show evidence of having been partially devoured by their murderers.
Meanwhile, Mary has been left completely untouched.
So what you're saying is this is your average day in Miami.
I mean, isn't it?
Everyone knows that the only non-cursed place in Florida is Orlando.
Well, Orlando suffers from a different curse, the curse of the mouse.
The other thing that everyone knows about Florida is that Orlando is 1 hour away from Orlando.
Consistent reports from witnesses to the effect that people who acted
I
as
mean,
though
you're
they
not
were in
wrong.
a kind of trance were killing and eating their victims prompted authorities to examine the bodies of some of the victims. Medical authorities in Cumberland.
And this, kids, is why you don't do bath
The
salts.
killers are eating the flesh of the people they murdered. Repeating this latest bulletin just received moments ago from Cumberland, Maryland, civil defense authorities have told newsmen that murder victims show evidence of having been partially devoured by their murderers.
Responding
Medical
to these
examination of victims' bodies
outlandish
shows
murders,
conclusively that the killers are eating the
Raccoon
flesh of the people they killed.
My words are failing me.
And so this
Raccoon Police
incredible
Department
story
has sent
becomes
out its
more
Special
ghastly with each
Tactics and
report.
Rescue
It's
Service
difficult to
Bravo
imagine
team
such a thing
to
actually
investigate
happening, but
in the
these
Arklay
other reports we
Mountains.
have been receiving and passing on to
However,
you,
their
reports
helicopter
which
went
have been
missing,
verified as
so they
completely
sent
as
an
is
Alpha
possible in
team
this
to
acute
investigate.
situation. It is happening, and it would appear that no one is safe from this wave of mass murder.
Hit a door!
Don't shoot! We're from town. City,
A radio.
County, Pennsylvania. The Butler County Sheriff has verified that reports of murder victims.
Holy shit, it's every principal in a 1970s college movie.
Bueller? Bueller?
That's the cellar. It's the
Bueller?
You mean you didn't hear the racket we were making up here?
How are we supposed to know what was going on? Could have been those things for all we knew.
That girl was screaming. Sure, you must know what a girl screaming sounds like. Those things don't make any noise. Anybody remembers?
How did they get in if he nailed all the doors shut?
We thought we
Oh,
could hear
but he definitely
screams.
has the face that says, I definitely know what it sounds like to hear a girl scream.
And you wouldn't come up and tell me.
Well, if there were more. The racket sounded like the place was being ripped apart. How were we supposed to know what was going on?
Now, wait a minute. You just got finished.
What we also don't know is that the man's also from Boston.
It sounded like the place was being ripped apart. It would be nice if you get your story straight, man.
All right, now you tell me. I'm not going to take that kind of a chance when we got a safe place. We luck into a safe place, and you're telling us we got to risk our lives just because somebody might need help, huh?
Yeah, something like that.
All right, why don't we settle this? Look, mister, we came up. Okay, we're here. Now I suggest we all go back downstairs before any of those things find out we're in here.
They can't get in here.
You got the whole place boarded up?
Yeah, most of it. All but a few spots upstairs. They won't be hard to fix.
You're insane. The cellar's the safest place.
I'm telling you, they can't get in here.
And I'm telling you, those things turned over our car. We were damn lucky to get away.
Well,
at
the
all.
reason why the
Now,
cellar's
you
the
tell me
safe place
those
is
things
because it's
can't
so
get through this
underground,
long
they
wood?
don't know about it.
His wife and
He
kids
seems like he would have a lot of knowledge about cellars being safe.
Well, I still think we're better off up here.
Safe, quiet,
We could strengthen everything up, Mr. Cooper.
easy to hide things in.
We can fix this place up in no time. We have everything we need up here.
We can take all that stuff downstairs with us. Man, you're really crazy. You know that?
Even the
We've got
stove?
1 million windows up here. All these windows. You're gonna make them strong enough to keep these things out, huh?
I told you those things don't have any strength. I smashed 3 of them and pushed another one out the door.
Did you hear me when I told you they turned over our car?
Oh, hell, any good 5 men can do that.
That's my point. Only there's not going to be 5 or even 10. There's going to be 20, 30, maybe 100 of those things. And as soon as they know we're here, this place is going to be crawling with them.
Well, if there are that many, they'll probably get us wherever we are.
Look, the cellar. The cellar, there's only one door, right? Just one door, that's all we have to protect. Tom and I fixed it so it locks and boards from the inside. But up here, all these windows, why, we'd never know where they were going to hit us next.
You got a point, Mr. Cooper. But down in the cellar, there's no place to run to. I mean, if they did get in, there'd be no back exit. We'd be done for. We can get out of here if we have to. And we got windows to see what's going on outside. But down there with no windows, if a rescue party did come, we wouldn't even know it.
But the cellar is the strongest place.
The cellar is a death trap.
I don't know, Mr. Cooper. I think he's right.
Mr. Cooper, the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.
Gee willikers, Mr. Cooper, this sure is a sticky pickle that we're in, isn't it?
You can do whatever you like. I'm going back down to the cellar, and you better decide. Because I'm going to board up that door, and I'm not going to unlock it again no matter what happens.
Now, wait a minute, Mr. Cooper.
No, I'm not going to wait. I've made my decision, now you make yours.
Now, wait a minute. Let's think about this. We can make it to the cellar if we have to. And if we do decide to stay down there, we'll need some things from up here. So let's at least consider this a while.
If you box yourself in the cellar and those things get in the house, you've had it. At least up here you have a fighting chance.
Yeah, it looks like about 8 or 10 out there now.
It's more than there were. There are a lot out back, too.
Give me a tickle. So handsome, he has to beat him off with a stick. Shot through the heart.
And you're to blame.
Glad that I wasn't the only one thinking that. So I wasn't a one-hit wonder.
Oh no, TOS.
We gotta fix these
Ricky.
boards.
You're crazy. Those things are going to be at every window and door in this place. We've got to get down into the cellar.
Go down in your damn cellar. Get out of here!
I'm taking the girl with me.
You leave her here. Keep your hands off her. And everything else that's up here, too. Because if I stay up here, I'm fighting for everything up here. And the radio and the food is part of what I'm fighting for. Now, if you're going down the cellar, get.
The man's insane. He's insane.
Girl worth fighting for.
Down there. We've got a right.
Oh god, why do these things pop in my head?
You going down there with him?
Well,
Yes or no? This is your last chance. No beating around the bush.
Listen, I got a kid down there. She can't possibly. I couldn't bring her up here. She can't possibly take all the racket and those things smashing through the windows.
Well, you're her father. If you're stupid enough to go die in that trap, that's your business. However, I am not stupid enough to follow you. It is tough for the kid that old man is so stupid. Now, you get the hell down in the cellar.
You are made of stupid.
You bastards. You know, I won't open this door again. I mean it.
Mr. Cooper, with your help, we could...
With my help.
Let him go, man. His mind is made up. Just let him go.
Judy, come on up here, honey.
You're gonna let them get hurt too, huh?
It's all right, honey. Go ahead.
Look, Mr. Cooper, all I'm saying is that we're eventually going to need some emergency food.
Up real good. There's lots of places we can run to up here. Mr. Cooper, we'd all be a lot better off if all three of us were working together.
Hey. Hey, kid.
Ah, shit don't look so good.
He's wrong, you know. I'm not boxing myself in down there.
So how come we got him?
On the air day and night.
Well, we're safe now. It's boarded up tight.
What about Tom and Judy?
They want to stay up there, let them.
You're safe now, but you're secluded from supplies.
There are two other people upstairs, a man and a girl.
We heard you screaming.
Yeah, but I didn't know who they were, and I wasn't about to take any unnecessary chances.
Of course not, Harry.
I didn't manage to secure any food, but I got cigarettes, which is the most important thing right now.
Is she all right?
I don't know what it is. She feels warm. Maybe it's shock.
Where'd you get the bandage?
Some laundry in a basket. I tore a sheet.
Let them stay upstairs. Let them. Too many ways those monsters can get in up there. We'll see who's right. We'll see when they come begging me to let them in down here.
That's important, isn't it?
What?
To be right, everybody else to be wrong.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, Cooper, he's always got to be right. That Cooper.
Does anyone up there know why we're being attacked?
That's our Cooper.
Whatever it isn't just happening here. It's some kind of mass murder. It's going on everywhere. The radio said to stay inside.
Radio?
Radio upstairs. I heard a news bulletin.
There's a radio upstairs and you boarded us in down here?
I know what I'm doing.
What did it say?
Nothing. Nothing. They don't
Said
know
that
anything.
video killed the radio star.
Mass murder everywhere, and people are supposed to look for a safe
He
place
told
to
me
hide.
that pictures
Take
came
the
and
boards
broke your
off that
heart.
door.
Oh.
We are staying down here, Helen.
Harry, that radio is at least some kind of communication. If the authorities know what's happening, well, they'll send people for us so they tell us what to do.
The radio is also
How
playing
do we know what's
repeats
going on if
of
we lock ourselves in this
War of the
dungeon?
Worlds.
It was an accident when they caused mass hysteria last time. This time, they're actively trolling everyone.
We may not enjoy living together, but dying together isn't going to solve anything. Those people aren't our enemies.
Mr. Cooper! Mr. Cooper, Ben found a television set upstairs.
Now we can watch the Bears.
Tom?
We can just watch Adam West
Judy was
Batman.
downstairs for a few minutes. Harry and I could come upstairs.
Okay, yeah, right away.
Will you do it?
Do I have to?
Look, honey, nothing's gonna get done with them down
War.
us up here. Do this for me.
Okay.
Okay, open up.
I've got another fun production fact for you about this Judy character.
Yeah?
She wasn't planned to even be in the movie. She auditioned for Barbara, didn't get the role, but the producers and directors thought she is too damn sexy to not be in this movie. So they wrote a whole new role just for her.
All I have to say, a better supporting character than Barbara.
I wonder if the red shirt's going to die first.
Snozzberries taste like snozzberries. The snozzberries taste like snozzberries.
I gotta go help Ben with the television.
Speaking of snozzberries, it's not the zombie apocalypse and the death of her brother that traumatized her. It's finding out that snozzberries means penis.
And her LSD finally kicking in.
Picture yourself on a boat on a river. Is there anyone in this movie who doesn't smoke? You're setting a terrible example for the children in the audience.
Don't be afraid of me. I'm Helen Cooper, Harry's wife.
This place is ridiculous. Look at this. There's a million weak spots up here. Give me one of those.
What are you, Henry? Are you a contractor?
Her brother was killed.
And they talk about these windows. I can't see a damn thing. There could be 15 million of those things out there. That's how much good these windows are.
Why don't you do something to help somebody?
Here I have it. Drag a couple of those chairs together.
There's a socket over here.
Sweet, now we can play Mario.
You better watch this and try to understand what's going on. I don't want anyone's life on my hands.
Is there anything I can do to help?
I don't want to hear any more from you, mister. If you stay up here, you take orders from me. And that includes leaving the girl alone.
It's on, it's on.
There's no sound. Play with the rabbit ears.
If you get them in just the right position, you can get Cinemax uncensored.
Mass hysteria.
Mass hysteria. What do they think? We're imagining all this?
Shut up! In all parts of the country. The wave of murder which is sweeping the eastern third of the nation is being committed by creatures who feast upon the flesh of their victims. First eyewitness accounts of this grisly development came from people who were understandably frightened and almost incoherent. Officials and newsmen at first discounted those eyewitness descriptions as being beyond belief. However, the reports persisted. Medical examinations of some of the victims bore out the fact that they had been partially devoured. I think we have some late word just arriving, and
Only partially, they're trying to watch their figure.
This is the latest disclosure in a report from National Civil Defense Headquarters in Washington. It has been established that persons who have recently died have been returning to life and committing acts of murder. A widespread investigation of reports from funeral homes.
Murder. All right, murder bad,
the
right?
Unburied dead are coming back to life and seeking human victims. It's hard for us here to believe what we're reporting to you, but it does seem to be a fact. When this emergency first began, radio and television was advising people to stay inside, behind locked doors for safety. Well, that situation has now changed, and we're able to report a definite course of action for you. Civil defense machinery has been organized to provide rescue stations with food, shelter, medical treatment, and protection by armed National Guardsmen. Stay tuned to the broadcasting stations in your local area for this list of rescue stations. This list will be repeated throughout our news coverage. Look for the name of the rescue station nearest you.
Youngstown.
Make your way to that location as soon as possible.
It is a youthful hit place.
There's a pump out by the shed.
I know that's why I pulled in here, but it's locked.
Emergency meeting called this afternoon by the president. Since convening this conference of the presidential cabinet, the FBI, the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the CIA has not produced any public information. Why are space experts being consulted about an earthbound emergency? So far, all the betting on the answer to that question centers on the recent Explorer satellite shot to Venus. That satellite, you'll recall, started back to Earth, but never got here.
Oh shit, I forgot about this.
Which orbited Venus and then was purposely destroyed by NASA when scientists discovered it was carrying a mysterious high-level radiation with it.
Yes, the cause of the zombie apocalypse is actually explained in this movie, unlike other Romero films, and it's space radiation.
It's obvious our best move is to try to get out of here.
How are you going to get over to that pump? Look.
Venus Stardust, Cosmic Crank.
Yes.
Space radiation can do pretty much anything. Just ask the Fantastic Four.
Or the Killer Clowns from outer space.
Do you feel that the radiation on the Venus probe is enough to cause these mutations? There was a very high degree of radiation.
Well, just a minute. I'm not sure that that's certain at all. I don't think that has been irrefutable.
Aw, good God, look at that mustache!
The radiation is not the cause of the mutation.
That stash has its own freaking area code.
I must disagree with these gentlemen presently until this is irrefutably proved.
Everything is being done that can be done.
His nose must stay warm.
That's a stash that demands a British accent.
Doctor, please. I thought we
With a name like Reginald and something at the end with a third.
When the satellite was exploded. Unusual amount of radiation, enough to cause mutation under certain circumstances.
Could have happened.
Have a bearing on it.
It does seem to have a bearing. Will there be a reply for the later?
Yes.
There will be a reply.
Yes.
Later this afternoon. There will be
This Uber's been rated 3 stars.
Yes. Later,
will you close the window?
we are doing everything possible to solve the problem.
We're doing everything possible right after lunch.
Further explanation of this.
We've heard all we need to know. We have to try to get out of here.
He said the rescue stations have doctors and medical supplies. If we could get Karen there, we could get help for her.
Is one of the world's foremost authorities on space science and technology.
Willard. I saw a sign that said Willard.
It's only about 17 miles from here.
You know this area. You from around here?
Judy and I are both from around here. We were on our way up to the lake to go swimming. And Judy had a radio, and we heard the first reports about this. So we knew the old house was here, and we came in and found the lady upstairs dead. Then these other people came. We went down into the basement and put a bar across the door, and it is pretty strong.
How could we possibly get away from here? We've got a sick child, 2 women, 1 woman out of her head, 3 men, and the place is surrounded with these things.
For NASA. Dr. Grimes, your entire staff, I know, has been working very hard to find some solution to these things that are happening. Do you have any answers at this time?
Yes, we have some answers. But first, let me stress the importance of seeking medical attention for anyone who's been injured in any way. We don't know yet what complications might result from such injuries.
How bad has your kid been hurt?
Good advice, Doctor. Now, how about the basic...
We have answers
Look, you go
to
down there and tell
how to treat
Judy?
people with
Yeah, you
medical
tell Judy to come up
conditions
here and you stay
during
with the kid,
this
all right?
apocalypse. But first, a word from our sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends, the hit new mobile RPG that's sweeping the world.
Which all 4 limbs had been amputated.
Why?
Sometime early this morning, it opened its eyes and began to move its
Because I
trunk.
might as well
It was
burn
dead,
bridges with a company that I refuse to work with as early as possible.
They want you upstairs. Did she ask for me?
She hasn't
I
said
mean,
anything.
fair.
I don't understand. Baby. It's Mommy.
I heard. I'll come back down as soon as I find out what they want.
It's Tylenol.
Thank you, Judy.
For all your kids' aches and
The body
pains.
should be disposed of at once, preferably by cremation.
Well, how long after death, then, does the body become reactivated?
It's only a matter of minutes.
Minutes? Well, that doesn't give people time to make any arrangements.
Oh, you're right. It doesn't give them time to make funeral arrangements. The bodies must be carried to the street and burned. They must be burned immediately. Soak them with gasoline and burn them. The bereaved will have to forego the dubious comforts that a funeral service will give. They're just dead flesh and dangerous.
I see.
Judy, I need you to find some bed spreads or sheets to tear up
I
into
mean,
small strips, okay? Is there a fruit cellar here?
You cool with what he just said? I think he kind of offended you a little.
Molotov cocktails to hold them off while we try to escape.
Hey, there's a big can of kerosene down there.
I'll see what I can find.
I'll
See,
look for the bottles.
while my father is a vampire, I'm only half
Maybe a
vampire.
key to the gas pump on it.
I'll check.
And
We can toss the cocktails from
I'm
the
not
window upstairs.
undead,
Meantime, a couple of us can go out
because
and try
my
to get the
mother
gas and come back for the rest of the
was a
people.
living
That'll leave a door
person.
open someplace.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's not
Better be this
quite
door.
offensive to
That's
me,
closer to the
but
truck. Before we go
I
over
could
the
see how it
supplies
could be
behind the cellar door,
problematic.
while we're gone, the rest of
Then
you
again,
hold
I'm
on
willing
there.
to give it a bit of a pass because it was
There's a
1969.
key on here that's labeled for the gas pump out back.
They were less tolerant of our kind back
Not really
then.
that used to the truck. I found it
Yeah.
abandoned.
I can handle
I mean, when it came to
I mean, just look at the Munsters. It's a minstrel show of my
You and
people.
I'll go.
You know, I love that show.
We'll put whatever lumber we find behind the cellar door. You
Say
can go
that
upstairs
again, I
and toss
dare
the
you.
cocktails from a window. Tom, you and I will have to unboard this door. After you toss the
What,
cocktails,
that I
you must
love the
stand
show?
down here and lock this door. It's no good to board it up because
You're
we have
on
to
the
get back in
list.
quickly. After we get the gas and get back into the house, then we'll worry about getting everybody into the truck.
Okay.
Now let's move it.
Also, did you hear that there's a Munsters movie in development?
Yeah, not sure how I feel about that.
Directed by Rob Zombie.
You always have a smile for me. How can you smile like that all the time?
Well, it is Rob Zombie, so it should be interesting.
That doesn't mean it's going to be good, but at least it won't be boring.
Tom, are you sure about the
It's
phone?
bound to have at least one angry redneck in
All
it.
you get is a recorded
Check your messages later.
If I could only call the folks.
Okay.
They're going to be so worried about
Okay.
us.
It came up with a really
Everything will be all right. As soon as we
You're
get to
gonna
London,
vote
we'll
for
call them. They might even be there.
Yeah, I'll have to do a different file.
Crack the window. The stuff in here.
Tom,
Well, I would.
are
But
you
remember,
sure we're doing the right thing, Tom?
What about getting out of here?
Yeah.
You still crack it.
The television said that's the right thing to do. We've got to get to a rescue station.
I don't know.
Come on, honey. You're starting to sound like Mr. Cooper now.
But why do you have to go out there?
Look, I know how to handle that truck, and I can handle the pump.
did my
I
neck
don't
just
know anything
break?
about that stuff.
No, but it did look like you were giving me a good nuzzle.
We're safe now, but there's going to be more and more of those things.
I
Nuzzles you. Oh, whoa.
Me like this?
Listen. Remember when we had the big flood? Remember how difficult it was for us to convince you that it was
There
right
we
to
go.
leave?
It took a bit for it to show up on stream, but yes, that is indeed what I was talking about.
Remember,
It's
the
not
safe
like
word
just
is
the wind
avocado.
passing through. We've got to do something, and fast.
I just realized I probably set myself up some really bad jokes there in the future.
Oh, the fan art's going to be fun. If we get
Do
a fan art for
your
this
worst.
stream.
I dare you.
I can't wait until I get big enough for the shippers to start showing up. That's going to be the fun part.
Wait, shippers? I was promised strippers.
There was a typo on the invite.
Downstairs.
We have to go downstairs now, Barbara.
She's right. You have to go downstairs now, just for a little while until we get back. Then we can all leave.
Oh, I'd like to leave. Yes.
I mean, they're draining what's left of Barbara's acting ability.
Good luck.
Yeah.
You fool, there's a green herb right there. You could use it to heal your daughter.
Why is he trying to escape with the entire collection of Helter Skelter?
You ready upstairs? Yeah. Okay, toss him.
The party is about to get lit. Low-hanging joke.
You know, one of the things about this being a very low-budget movie is that they actually lit that man on fire.
I had to offer him at least a little bit more money for that.
I mean, at least he got a better deal than Gibby's stunt actor from iCarly.
Fair.
I'm going with
The famous scene on iCarly where Gibby drops from the ceiling while shouting, "Gibby!" and then hits the floor like a sack of bricks. His stunt actor who did that stunt, instead of them using a dummy like any competent studio would, broke 3 ribs.
Oh, God.
And then a few days later, when they shot the insert of Gibby getting up, he says, "Did you hear my ribs crack?"
They had to make a reference to... Just looking back on that, there's a whole lot of really creepy stuff from that era.
Oh, yes.
Hit the gas. We're going to make an escape at 15 miles an hour. And all the zombies were stunned.
Come on! This key won't work. Watch it.
Yes, shoot a gas pump. What could possibly go wrong?
Watch the torch.
You gotta get away from the pump.
This is why you have to drive close to the pump.
Hang on.
Tom, turn your crazy, get out of the truck.
We're driving as fast as we can, but the fire's catching up to us!
my jacket's gone.
They didn't have enough budget to keep the truck rolling, so they had to stop it.
Good thing they evacuated the truck before the actors could get burned alive. This is a 1960s B movie. They definitely would have burned their actors alive if they could have gotten away with it.
Not the suit! Not the suit!
Coming in! Cooper! Cooper!
Bueller?
I thought you were joking when you talked about boarding up a door with another door, but
I mean, since it's 2 doors, you still can't call it a French door.
if only they had one more door to add to the pile, then they could have 3 doors down.
He punched him so hard it sounded like a slap. Well, at least their meal's pre-cooked. Oh.
I think it might be a bit overdone.
Yeah. Like, everybody want me? No, it's too well done.
I mean, at the same time, since it was boxed in, it's got that smoky flavor.
Either that or they all just took turns going, I kind of want a leg. I want an arm. I'll take the intestines.
Fun fact, there wasn't a rating system in America back when this movie came out, so parents would often take their kids to see horror movies because they expected them to be cheesy bullshit. And they left their children to see this. Roger Ebert actually wrote about it, saying that he was horrified seeing children be stunned into silence.
Oh, only 10 more minutes?
Can't we bring that back?
We don't have very long.
That'd be nice.
We can leave.
I mean...
Well, we better leave soon.
Well, that would have been really bad, having a
minutes
theater
to
full of
3.
kids when Hostel came out.
I mean, it could be worse. It could be a theater full of kids in a screening of 50 Shades of Grey.
Ugh.
I don't know. We were...
Bad enough, yesterday was already 50 Shades of Turkey.
Hotel before dark.
You said those things turned your car over. You think we can get it back on its wheels and drive it? Where is it?
Seems like it was pretty far away. Seems like we ran.
Forget it.
They ran so far away.
Johnny has the keys.
You're gonna carry that child a mile through that army of things out there?
I can carry the kid. What's wrong with her? How'd she get hurt?
One of those things grabbed her.
Bit her on the arm.
What's wrong?
Who knows what kind of disease those things carry? Is she conscious?
Barely.
She can't walk. She's too weak.
Well, one of us could try to get to the car.
You're gonna turn it over by yourself?
You can't start the car. Johnny has the keys.
You have a car? Where? Where is it?
You won't be able to start it.
Yeah, I know. But where is it?
Guys, I found some rope.
Good Lord.
On Frank.
Being monitored closely by scientists at all the radiation detection stations. At this hour, they report the level of the mysterious radiation continues to increase steadily. So long as this situation remains, government spokesmen warn that dead bodies will continue to be transformed into the flesh-eating ghouls. All persons who die during this crisis, from whatever cause, will come back to life to seek human victims unless their bodies are first disposed of by cremation. Our news cameras have just returned from covering such a search and destroy operation against the ghouls, this one conducted by Sheriff Conan McClellan in Butler County, Pennsylvania. So now let's go to that film report. All law enforcement agencies and the military have been organized to search out and destroy the marauding ghouls. The Survival Command Center at the Pentagon has disclosed that a ghoul can be killed by a shot in the head or a heavy blow to the skull. Officials are
They've also dispatched the local members of the NRA.
Activated by the radiation, the plan is kill the brain and you kill the ghoul.
Anything from the supply wagon, Gus?
No, we're all right. Hey, Cass, put that thing all the way in the fire. We don't want it getting up again. All right, I got you.
Chief McClellan, how's everything going?
Oh, things aren't going too bad. Men are taking it pretty good. You want to get on the other side of the road over there?
Chief, do you think we'll be able to defeat these things?
Well, we killed 19 of them today right in this area. Those last 3 we caught trying to claw their way into an abandoned shed. They must have thought somebody was in there. There wasn't, though. We heard them making all
And Larry the other day just went Rambo on them.
Blasted them down. Yeah, okay.
Chief, if I were surrounded by 6 or 8 of these things, would I stand a chance with them?
Well, there's no problem. If you have a gun, shoot them in the head. That's a sure way to kill them. If you don't, get yourself a club or a torch. Beat them or burn them.
That question has the same energy as who would win in a fight, one Tyrannosaurus or 50,000 ducks?
Well, that's pretty hard to say. We don't know how many of them there are.
I mean, it's also the same energy of who would you win in a fight against?
Yeah,
you know,
they're
10 middle schoolers
Well,
or 100 elementary school kids.
In 24 hours?
Well,
What's heavier, a kilogram of steel or a kilogram of feathers?
Probably into the early morning.
My ex.
We're working our way toward Willard, and we'll team up with the National
The answer
Guard
is
over there, and then we'll be
the
able to give
feathers,
more
because
definite
you carry not just the weight of the feathers, but the weight of all the guilt you feel for what you did to those poor geese. The movie stopped.
That wasn't supposed to happen.
Well, it's not letting us fast forward to that.
Anything from the supply wagon, Gus?
No, we're
Okay, let's us fact. It won't let us go past this scene.
Chief McClellan, how's everything going?
Oh, things aren't going too bad. Men are taking it pretty good. You want to get on the other side of the road over there?
Chief, do you think we'll be able to defeat these things?
Well, we killed 19 of them today right in this area.
Okay.
Y'all might want to clear the road. We're going to cover everything with Mountain Dew and then go mudding.
We were...
Let's see. Yep, we were there. All that.
We were about 1 hour, 16 minutes in.
Well, one of us could try to get to the car.
You're gonna turn it over by
A
yourself.
little bit after this.
Can't start the car.
And this
Johnny
worked
has
for
the
now.
keys.
Yes.
You have a car? Where? Where is it?
You won't be able to start it.
Yeah, I know. But where is it?
Epically late. You are late, Bueller. I mean, Cobalt Road. Hi.
Better late than never. And you came just in time to witness the inevitable technical difficulties that always happen during my streams.
This one's on me. I didn't sit through and watch this entire movie because I didn't want to, re-spoil after not watching it in so long.
Oh, same here. I also didn't know which upload of the movie you were going to be using. Public domain, so everyone and their mother has created their own YouTube uploads of it.
Oh, yeah.
Dead bodies will continue to be transformed.
I wonder. I doubt it falls into public domain. And that's Tales from the Crypt.
Tales from the Crypt is not in the public domain.
Yeah, because there are YouTube channels of it.
The only reason that Night of the Living Dead is in the public domain is because at the time that this movie came out, in order to have valid copyright, you had to have a valid copyright year at the end of the movie. Or during some part of the movie, you had to display the year that the copyright was filed. The distributors of this movie forgot to display a valid copyright year, so it instantly fell into the public domain.
Or a heavy blow to the skull. Officials are quoted as explaining that since the brain of a ghoul has been activated by the radiation, the plan is kill the brain and you kill the ghoul.
Anything from the supply wagon, cuz?
There's actually another famous movie that instantly fell into the public domain, but in a much more bizarre state, where it's still partly copyrighted because the broadcast rights belong to a specific company, but everything else doesn't. And that's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, because they displayed the wrong copyright year.
Last three we caught trying to claw their way into an abandoned shed.
So,
They must have thought somebody was in
I
there.
don't even know if that even falls into the safe enough territory.
All kind of noise. We came over and beat them off.
The movie is public domain, but the broadcast rights are owned by various companies over the years.
So safe bet, no.
I know, we would not do a broadcast of that because broadcast rights includes internet streaming. But that's also why some random company was able to make a sequel to it 30 or 40 years down the line.
Yeah, they're dead.
Yeah, they did, and it was terrible.
It was CG animated, and it had Scott McNeil voicing like half the characters.
We don't really know. We know we'll be into it most of the night, probably into the early morning. We're working our way toward Willard, and we'll team up with the National Guard over there.
And it was one of the final film roles, considering it was post-retirement, for, what's his name? Rick Moranis.
Thank you, Bill, for that report.
God, I forgot he retired.
Just how long it may take to kill off all the flesh eaters.
Considering so many things he's been in.
Is the fuse box in the cellar?
I don't know.
But Cobalt Rogue, it was direct-to-video. That's where the best movies go.
Power lines are down. Helen, I have to get that gun.
Anybody tells you, there was a movie called Shazam.
2 people are dead already on account of that guy. Take a look out that window.
Shazam is not real, but there was a movie called Kazam. And that one had Shaq as a rapping genie. Which I'd argue is better than a movie about Sinbad as a rapping genie.
Yeah. I would honestly pay to see Shaq versus Sinbad. Although Sinbad
people
was
forget
good in
that
Good
Shaq
Burger.
used to be a rapper for a while.
Yeah.
He wasn't a good rapper, but he was a rapper. That was the most half-assed brick toss I've ever seen. 0 out of 5.
I mean, that glass had about as much support structure as my family get-togethers. Come on, Cooper, be useful. You could be a hero.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You want to stay up here now? Helen, get in the cellar.
Or you could be a selfish little brick.
Get in the cellar now. Move!
This moment she's realizing bullets are cheaper than divorce.
Because exactly what you need in a zombie apocalypse where you don't even have a virus spreading, it's just the dead will rise in minutes, is more corpses inside your house.
After they already tell you, destroy the brain.
Maybe he's like, what's his name? Bugbite from GoBots, where his brain has actually been moved into his torso. It's a good thing he was only shot in the chest, where nothing vital is. Barbara finally did something, holy shit!
Time! Oh, look, kids' meal. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Oh, baby. Baby.
I know this is a pretty weird thing to think of right now, but the only other time I hear screams like this echoed are in hentai.
Let's remember, some of the
You
funniest
also know that due
dubs.
to Rule 34, there has to be a porn parody of this out there somewhere.
I'd rather not look.
What I can show you...
It's Johnny!
What I can show you after we finish this as a sort of palate cleanser is an unofficial spin-off that only lasts 20 minutes. Or I think only 8 minutes, actually.
Yeah. Soul Calibur death screams do echo.
I forgot about the Soul Calibur death screams. It's been so long since I played Soul Calibur. Ever since they introduced the character creator, I don't even play fighting matches anymore. I just spend all my time remaking my favorite fictional characters.
I mean, I will admit, when it came to Soul Calibur 5, I did make Michael Jackson, and I did make Michael Jackson fight in online matches.
I mean, I haven't played a single online match yet, but I've got Pepsi Man in Soul Calibur 6.
And 6, I've made both Old Spice guys. Yes, I made one of Terry Crews, and I can't remember the other guy's name.
I can't remember his name either. I think it's like Isaiah something.
It was terrible because he's fantastic.
Yes, I love that they didn't just play them as the same character. They went for completely different gimmicks.
Oh yeah. Lever of the Soul. I think I finished it at some point. Wow,
I played a little bit of it with a with one of my OCs using Geralt as his style.
Yeah. I mean, they at least did the story better than they did 5. Where it's like, hey, you are now forced to streamline to this person's story and this person's story only.
5 had a very rushed development, resulting in only about a third of the story being finished.
Oh, looks like Cooper could use a hand.
Poor Cooper, he's even useless as a zombie. We couldn't show the headshot, not because it was too gruesome, but because we ran out of budget for the blood.
I wonder how many gallons of blood they went through in this movie.
Honestly, not much, because there's not much blood in this whole movie. Most of it's just makeup rather than special effect style blood for shots and dismemberments. If you want to see a movie where they went through lots of gallons of blood, look up the final scene of Brain Dead, where there's a rampage with a lawnmower through a horde of zombies.
That just sounds awesome.
That movie is awesome. It's an early film from Peter Jackson.
So Caliber 6 Soul Chronicle. Oh, yeah. It's basically what they wanted for 5. And it's kind of bad because, you know, I was looking forward to 5 when it came out. Bought the collector's edition just to be disappointed.
If you think that's bad, I own 2 copies of Soul Calibur 5 on the same console. I just needed the collector's edition so I could get the collector's edition DLC that was never released publicly so I could make characters from The Legend of Dragoon.
Fair enough.
Because if there's one thing you can give Bandai Namco credit for, it's that when they say something is collector's edition exclusive, they damn well mean it.
Hey, Vince, Al, you want to get about 4 or 5 men and a couple dogs? There's a house over here behind those trees. We want to go check it out.
Frank,
You still here, Bill?
Yeah, Chief, we're going to stay with it till we meet up with the National Guard.
Where'd you get the coffee?
One of the volunteers, you're doing all the work, you take it.
Thank you. We should be wrapped up here about 3 or 4 more hours. We'll probably get into Willard then. I guess you can go over there and meet the National Guard. Nick, you and the rest of these men want to come with me?
Tell Bill to check in the office, see what's happening. All right, Steve, tell him we're going to stay with it, and everything appears to be under control.
And this is a weird thought.
Yes?
Going by mostly modernized horror movie stereotypes, niche character run.
I know exactly where you're going with this. But go ahead.
Instead of being the first to go, he's the one who lives.
You might want to hold your tongue there.
They need you down there by the barn. Some of these guys can follow the wagon down. I only need a few men to check out the house. Somebody had a cookout here, Vince.
Yeah, sure looks like it, Cal.
I haven't seen Night of the Living Dead in a long time, but I do distinctly remember the ending.
Yeah. Because it was... Yeah. That guy wasn't dead, he was just a local drunk. My eye!
He's a dead one. Get up here. Nick, Tony, Steve, you want to get out in that field and build me a bonfire? You, drag that out of here and throw it on the fire. Nothing down here?
Don't
All right,
recall
go ahead down and give him a hand.
the little girl getting
Go
killed.
check out the house. There's something there. I heard a noise. All right, Vince, hit him in the head, right between the eyes.
See, that's why I said you might want to wait before saying he's the one who lives.
Get him. That's another one for the
Yeah.
park.
I do have to admit, that was one hell of a shot.
Directly ahead.
And that, my children of the night, was the original zombie classic, the progenitor of so many iconic horror franchises, either directly or indirectly, Night of the Living Dead.
Oh, I forgot that they also used hay bale hooks to move the bodies.
Alright, if you want to load up the short film that I told you about, because there's nothing left to see from this but credits. It's called Night of the Living Bread.
Let's see.
It's basically, without giving away too many spoilers, it's Night of the Living Dead, but instead of zombies, it's killer bread.
Let's see, it was made 15 years ago.
Yes. If I remember correctly, it aired with the 1990s remake of Night of the Living Dead.
Alright, this should be it.
Yes, it's very short.
Hopefully we have better video quality, better than Grady.
That's the thing about Cobalt Rogue. You have to be prepared for an endless stream of puns.
I mean, it's the yeast you could expect. They really have to let the tension rise. He's toast, Jim. There's people on the side up by the camera just throwing bread.
Oh, it gets much better. This is what shitposting was like before the internet existed.
Over nothing.
They're coming right for us!
crisis, this radio station, in addition to other radio stations in the area,
yes, the mating call of bread.
broadcasting emergency information. Here are the facts as we know them at this time. Apparently, slices of bread have animated and are attacking human beings. Yes, we realize how incredible this story sounds, but reports have been pouring in from all areas of the city and surrounding communities. We repeat, slices of bread have risen and are attacking humans. Civil defense authorities are urging people to stay at their houses and places of work. Keep your windows and doors closed. Destroy all slices of bread where you are. Do not open wrapped packages of bread. Simply throw them in the oven or the fireplace and burn them. Be careful about opening your refrigerator. The leftovers may have become dangerous. Again, we realize how absurd this report sounds.
It's not every day that you hear the phrase, the leftovers may have become dangerous.
Stay tuned to your
This is why it's important to clean out your fridge weekly.
This is why you don't do what I do in college and leave your leftovers out while you're gone on vacation for a weekend.
Judy, take her downstairs. We're going for help.
We urge you to stay where you are. Take all precautions against the rampaging bread. Stay tuned and do as you are told. Although it is unknown at this time what started this crisis, investigating scientific experts are betting on yesterday's explosion of the wondrous bread factory.
During this crisis, Channel 27 News
knew Wonder Bread was behind this.
Scheduled programming so that we can bring you the most current information as we receive it. We will be having live reports.
You gotta keep those things back. Grab that toaster.
We now take you to a live report from the field.
This is Jeff Drexel reporting live from St. Kevin's Church in the downtown district. I'm standing here with Father Bry, whose church is being used as a shelter in this emergency. So how are things going here, Father Bry?
Well, things are pretty chaotic right now, but we're doing everything we can to maintain a sense of normalcy. In fact, we're about to give communion.
Communion, doesn't that involve the use of the holy wafer, a form of bread?
Well, yes it does, but pardon me.
You said you want to be a bit heretical, so can't get much more heretical than evil communion wafers. Oh no, it's a bagel with not enough cream cheese!
He just got wasted.
Think about how good it must have felt to be paid to throw bread at people for a job.
You gotta imagine they also have to keep someone to keep the birds away. Man, it's an infestation. Just the thumps of the bread.
I will spoil one thing. The black guy doesn't get shot by rednecks this time.
That's good.
And that was Night of the Living Bread.
So, He just... He got the British communion.
Bread itself.
Just laid out.
I love that they thank the bread wranglers.
The names of them. Steve. Like just why?
Like I said, this is what shitposting was before the internet existed. You had to make your own short films.
Oh. I don't think I can look at bagels the same way now. A Belmont asking to suck vampire's blood.
First of all, I'm only half vampire, and second of all, I want to suck your blood is racist. Bad to shy.
I mean, it's... Just go for the jam. Just go for the jam. Oh, they're married to one.
Yes, I've known Tashai since I was in college.
Ah, okay.
She's, if you saw my last stream, she's the partner of Nico Belmont, who joined me for a Mario Party.
That reminds me. I'm debating if I need to pick up Mario Party or not.
It is fantastic. Definitely pick it up.
Because I've literally have a budget to pick up one game. And I'm debating Brilliant Diamond or Mario Party.
Well, one of them is a faithful recreation of 100 minigames from the previous entries of Mario Party, not counting the shit entries of Mario Party, as well as 5 of the best boards from the Nintendo 64 era of Mario Party, plus online play, and local play, and single-player mode. And it's the most balanced Mario Party so far in terms of not having too much wild bullshit.
Fair enough. And I'm still working on Sword.
The other is a Pokemon remake that's made in the Unity engine and has both versions on the same cartridge, just set with a flag to determine which version to load.
That just sounds like someone could literally just go into the code, rehack the flag to disable it, and then they literally have both versions in one setup.
What's even better is that they're selling a $120 bundle of both versions together.
Yeah, I saw something like that, and I thought about getting it for the physical version.
Technically for that, you're getting 4 versions of the same game.
4?
You're getting 2 copies of both versions, since both versions are on each cart.
You're not wrong. You are
so it's
not
technically
wrong.
a $240 value for half the price, now that I think about it.
But just why? Just why?
Also, the fact that it's programmed in Unity means that if you run it on an emulator, it's infinitely easy to mod.
And I do have Unity. I mean, that's how I... Well... Yeah. Shin Megami Tensei 5, though.
I've never played a Shin Megami Tensei game, although I played Persona games a little bit, but I've never played a proper SMT.
Pretty much SMT, think more cult, less, high school hijinks mystery club.
And also, it's basically, gameplay-wise, it's basically Pokemon, but with actual demons instead of just abominations of mankind.
Yep.
Because you cannot convince me that a benevolent god created sentient shit.
Fair point. Fair point on that one. Because how else would you explain a sentient walking bag of garbage that turns into a bigger bag of garbage?
If you want to talk about the lack of a benevolent god in the Pokemon universe, then nothing gets better than living ice cream.
That is true. Also, it's great when you want to scar people, especially kids. Hey, kids! Do you ever wondered where did that burger came from? It wasn't a cow. It was a cow Pokemon.
I mean, if you want to scar some children even more, or even some adults even more with a kid's franchise, think about this. Ice cream canonically exists in the Zootopia universe.
Oh god, yeah, I've heard about this one. But it also gets worse.
So who is getting milked?
It also gets worse. You have predators and you have, pretty much. There's actually some, I think there is a deleted scene. But essentially it was a deleted, plotted scene they were going to do, where you see it's like a polar bear kid's birthday party, like his bar mitzvah kind of thing, and they put a collar on him as part of growing up. And he gets overexcited and everything, and the collar shocks him. And then he realizes, oh, this thing is meant to train me for the rest of my life to control urges of being a naturally born predator, because if I get those urges, I'm going to get shocked.
I mean, that's the kind of dark humor I could totally get into.
I mean, there's a comic where they show Nick getting his collar removed.
Speaking of logic that you have to apply to Disney movies,
not that kind of collar, Tashai. Not that kind.
Speaking of logic that you have to apply to Disney movies, given the logic they present in the films, in the Cars universe, there exist real-life car brands, which implies that they had founders as well for those car brands. There's a Volkswagen bus in Cars, which means that there must have been a founder for Volkswagen in the Cars universe. And given that Cars displays a similar history to the real world, that means that there was a car World War II and a car Holocaust.
Now we know what happened to the Pintos.
Keep in mind, there's also a Pope car in one of the movies, the Pope Mobile, which means that there's religion in the Cars movies, which means that there was a car Jesus Christ who was crucified by Pontiac Pilate.
How would a car communion go? Drink this, for this is my oil.
And that's without getting into the diagram that shows the body and internal organs of the North American car.
And you also got to remember, in the first one, and this is a very common joke about one, lightning gets flashed.
Yes, lightning gets flashed by two young girl cars shining their headlights at him.
Yeah. There's your lewd, Tashai.
Car Munion,
there's your lewd. Bread.
I could go on for hours about weird logic that you have to apply to Disney and Pixar movies. Like the fact that in Toy Story, if all toys, and by extension in Toy Story 4, things that are used as toys but are not meant to be toys, are sentient, then that means that homemade sex toys are also sentient.
Who hurt you?
And with that, we call this a good night.
Yeah, hopefully we can get together again sometime and maybe get some games or something.
I'll be streaming again tomorrow night if I feel up to it. I could do a stream of nothing but weird Disney movie logic if you wanted me to. I could make that a subscriber goal. But, tune in tomorrow night. I haven't decided on what the game I'm going to be playing that night is, but it should be something fun regardless. Thank you for joining me, Protorage, and if you would like, you can link your channel in the chat so people can give you a follow.
Sure. Let me see. Type it in. Let's see, can I type it in?
Everyone, please go give Protorage a follow, by the way.
But yeah, I am a bit of a variety. I do stuff, I build stuff. And whenever I have time, I make stuff. Other than that, it's just I do whatever feels comfortable, what feels nice. Been doing some Pokemon, and I'm trying to get this to work. Trying to get to stream Final Fantasy VII: The First Soldier. Sure, it's free for all, but it's not a bad game. It's a lot better with controller.
We've had a history of much worse mobile Final Fantasy games, like, what was the one called? All the Bravest, where the microtransactions were party members that you expended in one turn.
Yeah, that was a complete trash fest. But also, going into December, my plan is to, if people can send me suggestions and stuff of some bad and weird games, please do.
Oh, I've got plenty of those I could send you.
Please do, because I want to do that before Christmas and then after Christmas. I plan on reviving my PS3 and see if I can't get through Parasite Eve.
What if I were to tell you that there is a officially licensed Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer Nintendo Wii game?
I don't have a Wii.
It's easy to emulate.
Well, I'll give it a shot and I'll see how bad it could go, because let's face it.
It's a minigame collection with only 4 minigames.
December is the month of Trashmas.
Trashmas? I could get behind that.
I mean, it's the end of the year. We got to get through the bad stuff.
I've seen more than enough shovelware in my time to be able to send you endless recommendations for what to stream for Trashmas.
Oh, please do. Please do. You want to stream games no one's heard of? Dude, do it. If you got any that's really odd out there and you don't have time, send them my way, because I want to expand my library knowledge, but it's also I want to find the gold ones and I want to find the bad.
If you want something that's easy to emulate in stream, that's also weird, no one's heard of, and is good for riffing material, there's a Gilligan's Island game for NES.
There's a Gilligan's Island game.
Yes.
Why?
There's also several Where's Waldo games.
That I'm not surprised with, because there's also Carmen Sandiego games.
I'm trying to think of a good weird one to close out on. Because there's so many in my mind, but I can't pick out just one.
But other than that, hopefully we can get like some party games going or something. Especially if you got the You Don't Know Jack ones. Or they don't call it that anymore. They call it Jackbox now.
Yes. I was wondering where Jackbox came from, but yes, it is from You Don't Know Jack.
Yep, I have a couple of Jackbox collections on the PlayStation.
There's a South Park kart racer.
Oh god, I remember that. That'd be easier to play than the South Park FPS snowball game.
Fun fact, the South Park kart racer was made in about 5 months.
Oh man. Yeah, Yakuza isn't obscure, but it's weird. And between a roommate of mine and myself, we actually own the entire Yakuza series.
It's a shame that the original PS2 Yakuza flopped in the States, because now we're deprived of a recurring Mark Hamill-voiced Majima.
Oh yeah, because the only Yakuza 2 we have is Yakuza 2 Kiwami.
Yeah. And they didn't bother to dub most of the other Yakuza games after that.
No, they didn't. Like a Dragon, though, does have English voices as well.
Yes, but no Mark Hamill as Majima.
I don't know how I would feel about that, because Majima is enough of Majima.
I
just
mean,
added Mark Hamill to it.
You can find clips of it online. You would think it would be his Joker voice, but it's not.
Well, Matt Mercer also, if I'm not mistaken, he also did a voice in Judgment, which takes place in the same universe and same city.
I just remembered a good, weird game that's what the fuck worthy enough to be able to close out this stream on and give you great ideas for Trashmas.
Okay. Let's hear it.
There is... Now that I'm on the spot, it's slipping my mind. Damn it. That's how it always goes. I have a bit of stage fright despite being an actor in real life.
It's alright. I also have moments where I just think, I'm having fun, because I watch my hair move. And my earrings. I'm surprised my earrings actually move. I mean, what's funny is that when you bring up Virtual Fighter, when you play Judgment, you can actually play Virtual Fighter in the game.
Now I remember what it was. There's a Sega Saturn game that was only ever ported to one other console, and it was the Tiger Electronics Gamecom that it was ported to. It's a crossover fighting game between all of Sega's arcade division's fighters called Fighters Megamix, which it's primarily a crossover between Virtua Fighter and Fighting Vipers, but it also includes unlockable characters from Daytona USA, which consists of playing as the Daytona car standing on its wheels.
What?
And the palm tree logo for that division of Sega is a playable character. The Japanese version has Pepsi Man as an unlockable fighter. And one of the cops from Virtua Cop, who can even use her gun as a special move.
I don't even know. That is...
Now that I finally got that off my mind. Have a pleasant evening, my children of the night. Thank you for joining me, Protorage, and to all of my children of the night, unpleasant dreams.